Oh. What on
earth? What are you thinking?
So you fictionally making yourself a billionaire as well?
No, I just want an Iron Man costume to fly around. To be honest. Get this.
Remember that I'm going second.
Get a bit of volume on the next lap. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh. Welcome back, people.
Hello.
To Suits and Sliders, your all go-to business podcast.
It is.
This is episode 9, or in French, 9.
Nueve. Is that different? Is that
Is that
Spanish? I don't know.
9, 8. That's Spanish, yeah.
Nueve diez. Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, come on.
Well done. Anyway,
people are well.
Yeah, episode 9, man. Episode 9. What are we discussing today?
What are we discussing today? We're talking about different types of companies. Ooh. So this goes in association with what you will register yourself to be. You'll go under a certain title, a certain partnership of sorts, which we'll get into later, and it will have all sorts of implications on you, whether it's legal, financial, tax, a bunch of other things. We're going to get into it. So today, it's all about understanding who is your daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? Sounds good. I like it. I think it is important to know what kind of options are out there before you actually launch or incorporate your own business.
Because we want to be reaching out to people in different scales, and these types of companies align themselves with, depending on what sort of scale, what sort of size, what sort of commitment, what sort of financial backing, depending on what sort of caliber you want to be as a business and as a brand, will define what sort of company title you want.
100%. I mean, you go on like Company's House and it can be awfully confusing.
Really
and if you don't really know where to start, listen to this and we'll help you out. Hopefully.
I'll tell you one thing, there is a shit ton of anagrams you have to go through. So we're going to hopefully try and divulge the ones that you need to pay attention to today. Because trust me, I still get confused about this.
Yeah, no, we're still learning on the job, 100%.
Yeah, as we've said, this isn't God-given advice. This is purely just learning on the spot and spitting.
If you're making millions, we'll take some commission.
Yeah, sponsor me.
100%.
Nevertheless, should we actually make sure to hit that like button, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. And before you even really
a lot of you aren't
subscribing. A lot of you aren't. Even go and check out the socials, like follow us on the socials. We get so much engagement without.
Just help us out, mate.
Just
help us out. Help us out.
Do you not want to see more? Speaking of seeing more, another way to see more, if you don't want to get really into not like that.
What is this segment? How are you leewaying this?
I'm saying if they want to see a little bit more without getting into the depth of this YouTube app, they could just step across to our Patreon.
Oh yes.
How much is the Patreon, Jamie?
It is £4 a month.
£4 a month, 13p a day. For less than the price of a coffee, you can get all the juicy extras. You get extended episodes, averaging like an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes on the episodes. And on top of that, you get them early access.
Yeah.
You would have got them 2 days ago.
And you get Sunday exclusives.
Sunday specials. They come your way every weekend, which come out with the funniest things that we can possibly offer you.
It's not a podcast, it's completely different.
It's something special.
Fun.
If you want to know what it is, go check it out. Anyway. Should we get into it today, Joe?
Yeah.
So we've, as always, got a few lovely little segments planned for you delightful people at home. And we're going to start off with a good old Battle of the Hosts.
Nice.
Got a couple of different calibers of things. And again, a lovely little punishment for you people to see and endure.
Yeah.
Should we get into it?
Yes.
Woo!
Let's go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the return of the neck slaps as a punishment today, alongside wasabi.
Wasabi.
So we'll be doing that at the end for the ultimate loser of this Battle of the Hosts, and they'll be doing a big dollop on the spoon.
Yeah, we thought it would destroy us if we tried to do it throughout, so instead we're going to do neck slaps throughout, still pretty painful, and then we're going to have a big old splooge of wasabi
this
on the spoon, because it's a spicy.
This is spicy.
Bugger.
Very, very spicy. So
James can go first. What are the two things that we're going for?
So I've sent you my one.
You have?
And my one is all about company logos. I've sent a couple of images. We'll pop it up on the screen as well while we go through it. If you just say what the company is, etc. Yeah. But essentially, he's got to pick the correct logo versus the fake logo.
I do.
And he's got to pick the correct one, obviously. I've got the answers here. And you, my friend, will be doing what?
I'll be doing the company catchphrases. So he's doing logos, I'm doing catchphrases. I'll give him the catchphrase, he's got to guess the company. I'm not doing which one's the right catchphrase, I'm just doing, here's the catchphrase, guess the company.
Okay, I like it.
A little bit different, but hopefully we've gone for the same level of
Yeah.
difficulty. I've got some easy ones in mind and some hard ones, so we'll see how kind you've been.
Well, let's see how good you are. So the first image we have
Is
Levi jeans.
Levi jeans. Well, these are awfully close. You guys would have seen them at home.
Yeah, as you can see on the screen here.
So
So do you think it's A or B?
I'm going to say A.
The correct answer is B.
Is it?
Yeah.
With the R, the way that it is there.
Yeah.
I thought that was an obvious giveaway. Maybe I was
No.
wrong. Maybe it was a good mislead.
Come here, son.
Cheese!
I'm gonna hold. Here we go. Let me get this.
Remember that I'm going second.
Get a bit of volume on the next lap. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Prick. That was way harder than you've done in the past.
I think that was like hard, mate. It was
Jeez,
just a
that
good
really gave me a good rush to the head.
in the good spot. The sweet
Are
spot.
you sure? Did you not think that was quite
You
tough?
can watch it back. VAR.
Wait, that's right.
So, we're doing 8 of these, by the way. That was number 1.
Oh, there's 8. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
So number 2, what logo have you got?
LG.
LG. A or B?
I'm going to say A.
You are correct. Well done, well done. I think that one was fairly obvious.
That one looked obvious. I just wanted to go with my gut there.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'll say this as well. When I originally looked at the Levi's, my gut actually said B. But then I was like, oh no, they've cut off the R. That's why it's got to be wrong. And that's why I switched to A. So I'm just going gut from now on.
All right,
I'm
nice.
not going against my gut.
Number 3. What have you got?
A again. A was my gut.
B.
Was it?
It's B.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I thought you would have got that one.
So did I.
Do you see it now, or you still think
I
it's
see it now,
A?
I
Okay,
see it
fair. Hold on, we're going to angle this mic here. Sniffing it here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh!
You are going nasty today, man. You are going nasty.
What are you
today.
on about?
This is so much harder than you did last time. I swear to
What
God.
are you on about?
I swear to God, you being kind last time.
That's not bad.
That was bad.
That was better than the first one.
Yeah, I agree, but it's still hard.
Wasn't that hard? I went like that. Watch it back. Watch it back.
I will.
You will, and you'll be like, oh, fair. I'm just being a wimp.
B.
For number 4.
The next one, yeah.
Yeah? You think, okay, number 4's come up. You're saying B. Confirmed.
Oh, this is horrible. That makes you second guess yourself.
Well, no, because you said so quick. I just want to, confirm that.
Yes.
You're correct. Well done, son. Well done. Alright, are you ready for number 5?
Yeah.
What are you going for?
New Balance. I'm going to go for A.
Yeah. Kind of easy.
That one was fairly straightforward.
Although I feel like the longer you look at these,
The
more it throws you off.
It does,
doesn't
it really does.
Number 6.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen this logo before, to be fair. I know the company, but I don't think I've seen the logo before.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to take a stab in the dark. I'm going to go B.
Correct. Well done.
Thank God.
50-50 to be fair. So
Yeah,
well
for
done.
sure.
Well done. Number 7.
This is a weird one. Because
It is weird.
effectively, does the logo incorporate itself or doesn't it? I'm going to say there's a bit of a red herring now. I'm going to go A.
As
The correct one.
you're right. Well done.
I thought it was a bit of a red herring. But tough. I would have, if you'd have shown that as the first one, I might have gone differently,
Yeah.
for sure.
Fair.
Now,
Number 8.
Number 8, Garmin. Oh, I'm going to say A, but I'm not 100% sure on this one.
Locking it in.
Yeah.
What made you say A?
Gut. Don't lean forward like that.
Well done, mate. Well done. You did very well.
Okay, cool.
Fair
I'm
play.
happy with that.
So you got 2 wrong.
2 wrong.
It's very good. So you got 6 out
My
of 8.
neck
Well
fell
done.
in.
Well done.
Right. So, we're back in, and Jamie, as we said, is doing catchphrases. So I'm going to give you the catchphrase, and you're going to tell me what the company is.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to start off.
I'm not very good at these.
We're going to go with one of Jamie's all-time favourites, actually. We're going to go for Because You're Worth It. L'Oreal. He's in with the first one.
Oh my god, I was about to say Asda.
I was quite worried.
I was about to say Asda.
You didn't look with me with much confidence.
I was about to say Asda.
Asda.
Yeah, no clue why that came into my head.
Okay, next up.
Gosh, that's bad.
The best a man can get. Does it ring a bell at least?
I feel like it's in the car industry. Is that far off?
It's far off.
Oh my gosh.
Think of maybe like
I was
the
going to
best
say
a man can
fragrance.
get. That's the.
That's it. I've never heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's fine. I think this is one of the easy ones.
Is it a fragrance?
No. Well, I'm giving you too much away, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And I'm completely off.
Go on.
Heineken.
Gillette.
Oh,
The best a man can get.
really?
I thought it was a really popular
Oh,
one.
mate, I told you I'm terrible at catchphrases. Oh, yeah. I forgot
Bring the
about
Nick.
You got to angle the mic, mate.
Coming your way, mate. Yeah. That was reasonable. Yeah.
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 You just forget how bad they are in
Do
general.
you know what I
don't
mean?
you?
Like, I didn't. That wasn't hard. That was like
Yeah,
just
neither was mine.
fair enough. But
Neither
do
was
you now
mine.
trigger while I'm a bit like, ow.
No, you just got a bit too aggy. Too quick.
Never get aggy. Never aggy.
No go aggy. Go on.
Next of all, bit of an easy one again. Taste the rainbow.
Skittles.
Skittles it is. Next up, Simples. Simples.
I don't recognise that.
Yeah.
Meerkat.com.
Yeah, compare the market.
Compare the market,
I should,
yeah.
I should do it. No, I waited, but yeah, I'll give it to you. Compare the market.
Yeah, well, come on.
This one's a bit of a harder one. Don't live life without it.
Oh dear.
I think you would know it, but it's a big company in the UK.
Don't live life without it. Very liquid.
American Express.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, wait, hold on, I'll sit back.
I was not away with it then. Right.
Ooh. You're getting good coppage.
I'm getting good.
That
You
sounds.
sort of learn it after a while. I know I said UK company, but that was their UK slogan, by the way.
Yeah, you said UK company. That's
I thought Andre said
Cheers,
that.
mate.
It might throw you off. Okay, next up. Fast fashion, low prices.
Right. I'm TK Maxx.
No. You want to stick with that answer?
Well, you just said no, so no. Fast fashion. Or like ASOS.
No, I'm afraid not, mate. Primark.
Primark, oh my god. That's very close to TK Maxx, isn't
It
it?
is. So I was like, you want to stick with that?
Oh no, I've lost already.
You have.
Oh, sugar plums.
You're giving me red.
Wait, and I'm going to get slapped as well. Great.
Right.
Is it gone red, is that what you said?
He's gone red. That's why I was a bit like on that one. Right.
What number am I on?
I'm just counting now because 1, 2, 3,
You've
4,
done
5.
like
So you've done 6. So
Yeah.
you've got 2 left. Okay. It was going to get harder as the thing went on. Okay. Probably the best beer in the world. That's their slogan. Probably the best beer in the
Right,
world.
it's not Foster's. Foster's is good
Foster's is shit.
call. Good call.
Oh, is it? Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you
The
said-
Australian one. No.
But you're right, it's not Foster's.
It's not Guinness.
It's a very like core beer brand. I'm thinking like turn to the football stadium, they've always got this on tap.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in the UK?
Yeah.
Right, because I was going to say Budweiser.
No. It's a UK, it's definitely a UK brand.
Oh.
I think.
Stella.
Right, not Carlsberg.
Oh.
So recognise it now, probably best beer in the
No.
world. Oh.
No.
You don't watch a lot of adverts, do you?
No, I don't watch TV. What the fuck? I'm right, mate.
Right.
You know, I didn't even prepare for that.
Breathed in really hard.
I wasn't even ready for it.
Oh, I thought you breathed into
No,
it.
no,
Let's
no.
go for it. Because you went.
I almost bit my tongue, mate.
Alright, last one.
Oh, God. I've been absolutely
I'm
destroyed.
afraid you have gone away with the loss here.
Big L.
Okay. I'm trying to pick up these last ones. Where the good days start. Where the good days start. Think about like the start of your day, what sort of brand that would associate itself with.
Well, I'm thinking like hotels and stuff like that. Great. Where the good days start.
Yeah.
What a Kellogg's.
You're so close. What What brand of... Because Kellogg's is like an oversight company. It's like a specific brand. You're on the right lines there. Try to help you out here, bro.
So it's cereal, but Kellogg's is a cereal. But it's not that, obviously. Right? It's not...
Well, Kellogg's has like... I think Kellogg's got like 4 or 5 different ones underneath Kellogg's.
But they got like the... What's the main one?
I'm not saying it's the one main one. I'm just saying you're on the right
I
lines,
have
bro.
absolutely no...
Stab in the dark cereal, bro. Where the good
Cocoa Pops.
No, Weetabix, man.
Weetabix. That makes more sense.
I should have catchphrases because I listen to adverts. I didn't realise
Hey,
that.
I do not watch TV.
Yeah, you knew what I was doing, man.
I know like the big shop ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
great.
that was...
Give me some wasabi!
You got 3 correct. You got L'Oreal, you got Skittles, and you got Compare the Market.
This is going to make my... Right.
Make sure the camera can see how much you're sticking.
Yeah, do you want to be...
You know what, I'll let you do it because you had quite a few slaps there. Let's have a look.
That's a lot. No, more?
That's okay.
Is that not a lot?
That's okay. I'm happy with that.
Should I go show the camera?
Yeah.
Alright, Sonic
That was Battle of the Host today.
They can't even see that.
You can't see it, don't worry,
No.
just put it back.
Absolute fail.
Proper fail there. Bombs up, we're going to see if he hiccups again.
Oh, no, I am! I probably will if it's really hot.
Here it goes.
Ooh.
You got that sort of like grunt face. Oh, there it is.
Whoa,
Woo!
mate.
I can see it on your tongue.
Oh my lord.
Here you go.
I feel like a dragon. I went straight to my nostrils.
See your nostrils. Breathing fire, man. I think your eyes are going. Don't touch your eyes just because you touched them or something. That today was Battle of the Host, people. We'll get back into the segment now.
And why did we start with that? I've got the rest of the pod.
I guess we get back into it.
Yeah.
No hiccups this time. That's at least good.
No, just nostrils on fire.
Nostrils on fire. Right, here we go. Right, and we're back from Battle of the Hosts. I think he's fairly recovered at this stage. There was no hiccuping, I'm afraid, so minimised the entertainment for myself. But nevertheless, it was still a good Battle of the Hosts. I think it was good fun.
It was good. No, I don't get hiccups from wasabi, evidently.
I see. Not that spicy,
No.
just all the other spicy things.
I guess it's just like, because that's like a venomous.
Venomous.
Goes straight to your nose and your eyes,
Yeah.
whereas the other one kind of sits in your throat and that's when I start to hiccup.
That's a fair point.
But yeah, none today.
But now we're back into the touch point of the day, which is talking about different types of companies. So before we get into the types of corporations, registrations, so on and so forth, we've got a question for the week. And we're intrigued to hear your guys' responses at home as well. So do get in the comment section, let us know, respond to us, send us little DMs, let us know your thoughts for the fictional company that you'd want to bring to life. So this could be anything you've seen in a TV show, a film, even a book that you've read. It's a fictional company that you're going to bring out of the depths and into the real world, and why. Maybe even how you modernise it as well to be applicable for the real world. So Jamie.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah?
Thinking, I don't watch many films.
You don't.
So that doesn't help me. I don't know many catchphrases. Anyway, I would bring...
Do you just want to leave this business?
So like, I'd bring it into real life, right?
Yeah, you've got to bring it into real life.
Stark Industries.
Oh, okay, so you're the next Iron Man over here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How sick would that be?
It would be cool. It would be cool.
Roaming around in an Iron Man costume.
But technically, like, well, yeah, I guess so. Is it really fictional in the sense that... Oh, I know it's a fictional
Avengers.
company. I mean, like, is there any part of it that's, like, Well, I see what you mean.
It is fictional.
The Musk is effectively like the real Tony Stark of the world anyway.
Kind of. It's more the
Basically,
technology and
getting
everything like that. It's mental. Like,
True.
he is a £1 billion person in Avengers.
So you fictionally making yourself a billionaire as well?
No, I just want an Iron Man costume to fly around, to be honest.
That's
That's sick.
Okay.
I can give you one if you want.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
No worries. What would you bring?
Do you know what I thought?
I mean, you've actually like thought about it.
I
properly.
properly thought
Oh
about
gosh,
this.
here we go.
I'm thinking
Watch me not know the film.
we need a real life. You definitely know this film. If you don't know this film, you live under a rock. I'm thinking of bringing to life Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Now, hear me out here. I'm thinking, bring it to the real world. You've got a big old, you make it look like almost like a theme park in terms of the factory. Every year, you're releasing golden tickets. You're having like exclusive tours. You have like a reality TV show linked with it where people come and they'd spend like a week in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I'm thinking you could make a whole thing out of it, man.
You might get
smart candy subscriptions where people could like have a monthly subscription where they get their Willy Wonka's chocolate.
You might get a bit of skepticism, mate, though, because you've got a weird workforce.
This is what I was getting into, right? So I was watching a video the other day sent to me by my brother.
Slaved away.
No.
And he kills people.
That's all. That's nah.
That's what you bring.
No, don't twist it. Don't twist it. I'm saying bring it into.
I'm trying to save the world here with Iron Man.
Listen, man. So my brother sent me this video the other day. You know the video?
Yes, I do know the video.
So they've created this like little robot that's like it's almost like a little Wally. It's got like a little personality and stuff. Have you seen the videos of it? It's been going around.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking buy a big old batch of them and we'll call them the Oompa machines, and they'll be the little Oompa Loompas. We'll have little robots working everywhere.
So you're changing it.
I'm changing it. I'm bringing it into the modern world. So we have the little Oompa Loompa robots who work on the chocolate factory. We'll use fair trade chocolate like Mr. Beast does. I was looking at this the other day as well. You know Feastables? Mr. Beast stands alone by having one of the only modern chocolate brands that operates in fully fair trade and ethical working practices
that's
with cocoa farms and all this sort of stuff. So hats off to you, Mr. Beast. Brilliant working in that ethical morals and stuff. I'd work in line with that.
He would be the Willy Wonka.
So here's my final idea.
Yeah.
So every few years, you know, like how Doctor Who upgrades, becomes a new person. We'd have a new CEO of Willy Wonka, but it would be like we'd reveal it like they do the Doctor Who's, because it would be on the reality TV show where we'll bring celebrities on to like. And then here's my last idea to really modernise it all. You know, like where you have football boots and you can go online with Nike and you can customise your own boot.
Yeah.
I'd have this idea called the Flavorize app, where you can go on there and you can customise your own chocolate bar, where you literally like build it on an app and then you order it from Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and it comes straight to you. So this is my idea.
How are you going to make it
a
reality TV show though? Like, is there a game element to it? Because obviously the original Willy Wonka, people die.
You say people die, they don't.
You don't see them at the end of the.
Yes, you do. They
film.
roll out of the film.
Anyway, they get like.
They get screwed
weird
up.
Stuff happens to them, right? And then you get a winner at the end.
Yeah.
So how would you?
We do challenges and stuff like that. You're not killing the people or making them disfigured, but you bring on like celebrities and stuff like that, and we'll do once a year. It'll be like
Love Island. What kind of challenge would it be?
It'll be like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and they'll do the challenges associated with the original film. So like a big golden egg sort of related thing. I think with like all the squirrels and the nuts, we'll have like a game oriented with that. I think it could be a sick idea. So yeah, there you go. There's my idea.
Well, I would put sliders on my Iron Man.
Do you know what? You win. So getting now into the actual crux of the video.
Yeah.
Talking about the types of companies and corporations. Got anything to kick us off initially?
I mean, yeah, there's multiple types that you can get.
Yeah.
I'll run through them quickly.
Go for it.
I mean, we'll start with the sole trader.
Mm-hmm.
So a sole trader is a business owned and operated by one person, essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can either act as kind of like a freelancer or a small little business.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, there's obviously a few pros and cons. I think we'll allude to it a bit more, but essentially you're allowing yourself to have full ownership of this company, which you can then decide what to do with whatever you're looking to do with it. I mean, I do want to touch on kind of the tax point of it, but I think we're going to allude to that a bit later in the episode, so I'll hold that for later. But there are benefits to it, for sure.
There definitely are. And also this means that if you're out there potentially in, like, the labouring force is a very common one for having sole traders and stuff like that. You can stand alone. You don't have to have like a partnership with somebody else. If you've got a business that you just fully understand yourself, it's a great option to come.
Perfect for a little side hustle kind of thing. That's ultimately what you're looking for. I mean, you get so many freelancers and contractors on websites like Fiverr, etc. And that's where you'll find a sole trader corporation.
Yeah, definitely. What next have we got?
Next one, got a limited company, obviously.
Limited company?
Yeah. This is quite a huge one. Obviously, private company that exists in a separate legal entity. So from its owners, you can have basically limited liability protection, which means that essentially if you get yourself into huge debt, they're not going to take away your cars and stuff like that. So it's good, usually for small to medium businesses.
Yeah, this is what I looked into as well. So the pros and cons associated, especially with private limited companies, as you mentioned, shareholders and people involved in the business, they're protected in terms of their personal assets, but their investment is the only thing they could be liable for. So in terms of your own house, your own car, so on and so forth, you never have somebody banging on the door going, give me all your stuff. Another pro for that is also having a more formal structure. When you're a private limited company, you register yourself properly, you have to go through the right avenues of admin, so on and so forth, which then means that if you have an investor coming on board, they can look at you as a professional service rather than just a sole trader who can sometimes have less credibility due to the fact that they are just a sort of sole trader on themselves. However, there are
Got
a
any
couple of
cons?
cons.
Yeah, go on.
Exactly, yeah. So the cons are, as I just mentioned, the flip side of that more formal structure, the administrative tasks that come with being a private limited company go up quite a lot. So in terms of company filings, being on company's house, being very public and open about what your earnings are, can be seen as a con. Nevertheless, if you stay on top of it with methods that will show in the future, then hopefully that will help you out there. And secondarily, in alignment with that, less privacy. So with everything being on company's house and being in public record, all your financials, your director details and stuff like that, it's out there for the world to see. So you do have to then make sure you're aligning yourself ethically in modern day and all that sort of stuff.
It's also it's harder to get investment as well. I mean, in comparison to some of the other types we're going to speak about, like you have to go out and physically get investment.
You do.
Whereas with other ones, you don't necessarily have to. A great example of that, I mean, Gymshark was a limited company to start with before they went public. Yeah. And it just shows you can grow from a little small business into a large one. But it's a great way to start.
You very regularly see yourself going from the private limited into the public space. You'll never really see it happen the other way around.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I see what you mean. Speaking about that, the public side of things, you got anything on?
Yeah, so you got a public limited company, PLC. This is a company that usually shares are publicly traded, so anyone can opt into them, anyone can buy into them on the stock exchange market. They have a lot more stricter regulations and transparency requirements, which I'm sure you'll get into. Yeah. Obviously, best for a huge, large business, usually looking to seek investment as well.
Yeah, you're entirely right. So the pros that come associated with this, as you already mentioned, this is done on a public scale. So in terms of getting people to come and buy into it like you would a standard stock on the sort of stock exchange and so on and so forth, selling those shares to the public gives you a huge opportunity to gain fundraising at a vast rate.
Yeah, you can get huge capital from it, which is ultimately what they do tend to look for.
Oh, exactly. Angel investors, they jump at the PLCs. That's their sort of main bread and butter. But the cons that come with it, as you already mentioned, the cost for compliance to follow all the legals and the exchange laws and stuff like that are very high. Auditing, reporting, making sure that you're staying under the thumb of these regulations.
Goes through the roof again.
Yeah, because you'll be pulled away with a fine tooth comb pick if you do things unethically. And then secondarily, you also require a minimum of at least £50,000 of dollars of capital to start a PLC. So you're talking the scale has to be large.
Yeah,
so that's something that you do need to, pounds. That is something you do need to be aware of if you're going down the PLC avenue.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, examples of a PLC is like a Tesco's, BP, whatever you can really find on the stock market is a great example.
Exactly.
Lastly, we have limited liability partnerships, LLP. This is essentially a little bit of a hybrid, right? Okay. Between a company and a partnership. So the members associated with this will have limited liability, but they operate with a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll get into the pros and cons of this, but essentially you're looking at more professional services. Yeah. So your law firms, your accounting firms, this is where they'll look to pretty much launch an LLP.
You're exactly right. So the pros on the side of the LLPs are partners. You aren't responsible for the debt. It's taken on as part of your limited liability partnership, hence limited liability. And also the LLP doesn't pay any corporate tax. Instead, it's paid as an income tax on behalf of the partners in the brand. And corporate tax, I mean, despite it being something that probably has a bit more conclusiveness with corporate tax rather than income tax, it also, income tax can protect you paying a lower tax bracket than some corporate taxes can be.
But most people in the LLP will be high earners looking to be a partner in a law firm or an accounting firm. So they'll be paying, obviously, towards the high end of the tax.
Already, yeah, you're right. Con side of the LLPs, full disclosure must be publicly noted on Companies House. So again, making sure that you get all your due diligence and your checks associated and out there for the world to see. If you try and hide anything, you're going to get caught out, and that will really open you up to a lot of trouble. Not available for external investment as well. So this isn't something where you're selling shares and you're getting people to come in externally to provide finance for your company. You've got to do it yourselves. And then finally, must have at least 2 entities or individuals to be registered. So you can't be a sole trader and just think, I'm going to make myself a limited liability partnership to protect my debts. Can't do that. You need 2 of you in the game in order to make sure that you get yourself registered. Yeah,
definitely. So, I mean, there's a bit of food for thought. Yeah. Go have a look. There's plenty of stuff you can read out there surrounding those kind of type of corporations. I mean, when we looked at it, obviously, we chose the limited company route.
We did, the private limited company.
Yeah, well, it's not private limited, it's just LTD.
LTD, it's a limited company.
Limited company, obviously it is private associated, but we couldn't go sole traders because there's more than one of us, and we couldn't go anywhere else because we're not big earners.
We weren't seeking $50,000. We weren't putting ourselves on the stock exchange.
No, exactly. So it's the perfect fit. So when you're looking for something like that, I guess you've got to look at what business you're doing, who you're going into partnership with. Can you maybe go for a sole trading route, or can you go for a limited company route? If you want to go bigger and better, probably go speak to some lawyers as well.
Exactly. But the typical sort of small business startups do go down the avenue of limited companies, whether that's private or public, associated with yourselves, depending on the scale that you have. So that's where we went down. Yeah. But in terms of the options for yourself, do look into it out there.
Definitely.
It's fairly, despite it being quite a lot of words around for you, it is fairly straightforward when you do look at it.
It is. It's just easy
because
to
it's
set up.
PLC, LLP, LTD.
It's scary. Initially, it's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, as you get into it, you do realise it is there to make. It's supposed to be easy, right? So they're trying to encourage you to do it, and this is an easy route to go down. Is just launch a limited company, incorporate a limited company.
Exactamundo. Anyway, that's what we've started with. Later on, we're going to get into details about the legals, the financials, and so on and so forth. But first off, we have something very exciting.
A brand new segment.
Should we
get into it?
I've got a brand new one lined up for you.
We'll tell them.
Let's tell them when we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, stick around. Here we go.
Yep. This is our brand new segment called Traders.
What's the theme song for this? Traders.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool, eh?
Traders. Right. So what we did, we started off with a pen each.
A pen?
A little pen. Mine was a 50p biro pen.
Mine was a blue biro.
And we got challenged for the week to essentially upgrade this pen to whatever this end product is. As you can see, mine is on the screen now.
I've got no idea what
this is what I've ended up with. And I'm going to get Ollie to have a little look. And then I'm going to tell you exactly how I managed to get this.
Awesome.
Are you ready? Do you want to have a little feel?
Do you want to give me any clues?
Have a little feel.
Feel, okay.
So reach out.
Oh. What on
earth? What are you thinking?
I think it's some sort of big sign, maybe.
Yeah. Do you want to reveal?
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
3, 2, 1. Oh, it's a chair! It's a chair!
It's a chair, mate.
You managed to trade a pen. That's a nice chair.
It's a good chair.
I'm pretty impressed.
So this is a white wooden metal framed chair from IKEA.
It's an IKEA chair.
So it's obviously got a few little grazes and stuff like that.
This could end up being a guest chair. Wow.
Let me. Sorry, this is exactly what I thought. This is exactly what I thought. So, as I mentioned earlier, it all started with a little humble 50p pen that I had, and essentially, what I did, stage 1. The upgrade begins, right?
The upgrade begins. How did you start?
I had this 50p biro pen, and I walked into my house, took all the pens away from my house.
Okay.
Didn't realise my mum still had a pen.
I see.
She had a V-ball grip pen.
Wow.
Which was obviously very sleek, very smooth. So I said, Mum, you want to trade that pen?
It's the good old Wolf of Wall Street pitch,
pen for pen.
This pen.
I said, mine has a full ink cartridge. You can use it. It's going to last. Whereas your one, you probably had for a while. She was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just gave it to me.
So she traded you a better pen?
Yeah, but she didn't think the word trade means she's not getting it back.
Did she not?
So when I came back with something else, she was shocked. Anyway, that pen that I got was around £2.
Okay,
so we made about 400% increase already.
Love that.
Smashed it.
Love that.
Stage 2, thinking outside the pen box. Like it.
Yeah.
What's better than a fancy pen? I thought. I don't know. How am I going to do this? So, my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
Is a dentist.
She is.
Or studying to be a dentist. She has unlimited supply of toothbrushes and toothpastes.
Okay.
So I went, I'm going to swap pen for that.
Nice, I like it.
Unreal. She's studying right now, so she could use that. So I swapped it out for a super soft toothbrush and a Sensodyne Pro Enamel toothpaste.
Pro.
I then went, who could I approach now that maybe has something they don't want?
Yeah.
So I knew someone was moving out.
Oh, okay.
And I said, is there anything you're willing to trade or give up? And they said, I've got a chair. I'll trade it. This is the chair.
That was a good jump.
I said, do you want some Pro Enamel, which will help your gums and help your teeth?
Salesman's here.
They're like, sure. It was a very easy trade. I think they wanted to get rid of it. So I traded it.
That works.
So I went from a £7 set of toothbrush and Sensodyne toothpaste to a £45 retail value chair on IKEA.
Wow. But this is second hand, so...
Second hand.
Cool.
Probably got a few dents and stuff, so it'd probably be about 30, 20.
Yeah,
something like
I'll
that.
take that.
Anyway, after this, I then said I got a chair and I reached out to a couple of people.
Yeah.
Some more people that I knew were moving out and stuff like that. I got offered a sofa.
Wow.
Like a leather sofa.
Wow.
I didn't check it out.
For free?
For the chair.
Oh, for the chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they wanted to get rid of their sofa and start building like a little dining room section.
Yeah.
Well, not dining room, like coffee section. So I didn't go check it out because I didn't have enough time anyway. But also, I was never going to shove that in my goal.
I was going to say.
And I thought a chair will bring more value to our podcast if we ever get a third guest.
Do you know what? I appreciate it.
So that, I stopped it there, and I went, that's what I've ended up with from a little pen.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah?
I'm very impressed.
I like
right now,
it.
you stick on the blindfold. But yeah, this could be our guest chair. I'm pretty happy with that.
Mate, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm
It's actually not a bad little
very
chair.
impressed. Yeah.
Or we could sell it for 45 quid and get loads of scratch.
Definitely. Right, you get that blindfold on. I'm
Yes,
going to grab my thing and move your chair out of the way.
Yeah.
Reset.
Swap
Let's
it all over.
reset. We're back in, people. So it's my turn this time. You will see at home what I've managed to get. So, Jamie, first of all.
Yes, son.
It's been a hell of a week. You know how much I've been working hard at this.
Yes, I've heard.
So
I've heard the rumours.
I'll let you. It's going to be a pretty obvious giveaway when you lean forward.
Lean.
But yeah, you have to lean forward and lean down. Yeah, you can have a little feel, and then let me know what your thoughts are. One hand, stretch it out. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. Here we are. What are our thoughts?
Speaker.
Wow.
Sonos.
You take off that blindfold.
Feels like a speaker.
Yeah?
Take it off, yeah?
Take it off. You are...
Oh, God.
100% correct.
Sonos speaker!
Sonos speaker. Right? So let me tell you about the journey. You're impressed. From a little pen, eh?
That's good.
It's quite good, eh?
Does it work?
It works.
You'll steal it from my house.
Yes,
something
this is the
very
story.
similar.
No. Right, so I will tell you the story.
That's very good.
So we started with our humble little pen.
Yes.
My blue biro. And I thought, I went about it a different sort of method. Now, you went about it by removing all the pens from your house. I went about it by just going, who do I know that needs pens?
I had to create value in my house, yeah.
And I went to a good friend of ours, Mr. Joseph Whelan. We'll bleep that out.
Okay.
Who works in
He needs a
HR.
pen?
Works in admin and HR, so he's always needing pens. He's always out and about needing a few pens.
Has he not got a computer like the new age? To be
does,
fair, he is old school. He is old school. He likes
He
right.
likes being old school. So I went, Mister, do you have anything that you'd want to trade this lovely little pen for?
Yeah.
And he was like, why? And I was like, because he asked too many questions. Anyway, we went back and forth, and he said, well, I've got something. He goes, I'm definitely not going to use it because it's broken. I was like, okay, what is it? And he goes, when I was at uni, we went on a pub golfing session, and we had these transparent hats which had like
the golf hats,
the plastic ones, the plastic ones very quick. He goes, but mine's got a split in it. And I was like, I'll work with it. So send it my way. So he sent it my way. And then I had that hat and I thought, oh, I know who could potentially use this. My brother. Because my brother is now working well, he's got himself a new job, and he's looking to go away on holidays this year with his mates. And I was like, hey, Tom, for your lad's holiday, you'll need a good Dick of the Day hat. Every good holiday needs a good Dick of the Day hat.
What colour was that?
It's a red hat.
Red hat. Okay.
Red, pub golf kind of hat. My brother loves golf as well. So I was like, do you fancy a hat? What have you got? And Tom went, yeah, I've got some. And he goes, got a pair of socks for Christmas I'm never going to use. I was like, okay, let me have a little look. And he shows me these really nice slipper socks, right? They had like grip on the bottom, like the typical Christmas sock.
Fluffy ones.
Fluffy socks.
Yeah, I like
Next, and these were about 15.
That's funny because everyone's got like Christmas presents they don't use.
Yeah. So Tom went, I'll give you the socks, and I'll take them. So I took the socks. And I was thinking, I've got a pair of socks. Who's going to want a pair of socks? And I was like, you know who always needs some goodwill? It's all the boyfriends out there. Boyfriends always want to get a goodwill little gift in. So I said to a friend of mine, Piers, I said, Piers, you got a girlfriend. So do you fancy these socks? You got anything good to trade? Went back and forth talking. Now Piers came up with an amazing idea initially. When he found out it was for the pod, he was like,
"Oh, did you tell them it was for the pod?"
It was in the chat, but like it wasn't like I was making sure I went out to the right people because I spoke to a couple of people at each stage. Oh well, you have to be candid.
Where the rules here, eh?
Yeah, but I'm speaking to people who want it. I said to them, if you don't want it, and then this is how I can prove my point.
See, I never said anything about podcasts.
This is my point because he said to me when I said about podcasts, I've got this sick idea, and he has this awesome pool cue.
Yeah.
It's like themed pool cue, and I said, Piers, mate, you're a legend, but like. That's obviously just because it's for the pod. It's not because you actually want to have a better sex. So I said, you got to think of something else. If you don't have a good trade, like a valuable trade, I can't accept.
Okay.
Fair? So then he said, I've got this wallet. I got like 2 wallets for Christmas, and like one of them I'm never going to use. And he was like, it's a wallet, it's like a 30 quid wallet. I was like, that's a perfectly fine thing. So we made that trade. So I had the wallet, a brand new wallet. And then, the legend himself, I messaged a friend of yours. Mr. Joe Simmer, and a good friend of mine.
Absolute long
but he's an old friend of Jamie's, and I said, "Pal, I've got this new wallet. Have you got anything that you really don't use?" And he's like revamping his room at the moment. He keeps sending us pictures of it in the group chat. It looks sick, but like you've sent us about 100 videos.
No one cares.
And so I said, "Have you got anything you're not using?" And he said, "Yes, I've got something I'm not using. I'm not using this speaker because it works off the Wi-Fi and his little annex is outside of the house."
Yeah.
And so he was there like, what do you think about this? I was like, I got a brand new wallet. He was like, yeah, I could do something with a wallet. And so I made the trade and we're here with a not brand new, it's barely been used.
Does his parents know?
Sonos speaker. I don't know why.
He's probably just nabbed it. But no, that's a good trade, man.
Second hand, about 70 quid.
That's good. That is good.
So we've got ourselves
and they're good. They're loud as well.
Speaker.
They're nice.
So yeah.
Nice, mate.
Fair
play.
So I think I take the win on first episode of Traders. Don't tell me you're winning with the chair.
No. I'd say the way you went about is a bit fishy, in my opinion.
Definitely not.
I think next time we do Traders, there should be a rule.
Go on, what's the rule then?
You don't mention anything about YouTube, podcast, business, nothing like that. You trade like you would just walking down the street.
But my point is I was an advocate for making sure I didn't make an unethical trade based upon that knowledge.
Yeah, but that's why I removed all the pens in my house, because I need to start something.
Well, you could have gone for somebody who weren't an admin. I didn't have it at that point, so hey. Well, he's disrespecting my hard effort for the week.
No, I'm saying you take the dub. Well done. The next time,
never let me win.
next time, we need to have some rules in place.
Yeah.
Deal?
Yeah. Just let me win, man.
I said you take the dub.
Sore loser. Right, we'll get back to the episode. We'll get back to the episode now.
He's hearing it.
But that was our first one.
I like that though. That's really good, mate. 70 quids.
You people at home, if you ever want to have a little go at it, try and trade something up over the course of a week. It's a right laugh. You get some weird things coming.
We're going to end up some random stuff on that podcast.
If we sell it though, does that mean it's profit for the business?
It is.
So I'm thinking.
Well, I'm saying more scratch cards.
More scratch cards.
So many more.
70 scratch cards.
Yeah, and then we're not paying for our own scratch cards.
That's a really good point.
So anything we win is pure profit.
It is. Right.
To spend on more scratch cards.
Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Well, I mean, I feel like we can put those items to good use.
I feel like if we want to make it part of our quarterly reports, we'll end up doing really well this next quarter.
Yeah.
If we sell them, sell them, I'm happy to do it for ourselves.
Good shout.
I think business-wise, we've got to be thinking about money, man.
It's a very good shout. Let us know in the comments down below. Would you like us to sell them?
I think the second we start getting...
We may as well. There's nothing
we're doing well.
Yeah. I mean, we could use a chair, but...
We've already got speakers and stuff, so...
Yeah. Anyway. We did not forget, don't worry guys.
We didn't.
We still do have tradition here at Suits and Sliders, and we forever will. We have the infamous scratch card. Once again, because we got so lucky in episode 7, we felt the need to splurge a little bit.
We splurged.
Why not?
Because for £2.
We went into episode 8 and we're like, we're going to win again. And we didn't. So kind of like got us a bit butthurt. So we
won on the £1, so we need to go back to the £2.
Yeah, we might get some luck here. So,
do you want to go first?
My friend.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
Winning numbers were 8 and 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like the 8s here.
I like those.
So we got nothing.
No.
What a shit throw.
That was a terrible throw. So, by the way, these ones are set for 5 years on people.
Rubbish.
So, if we would have won, we would have been set for 5 years, which would have been perfect.
Yeah,
That's exactly
I had
what the
a
investors
year's.
want out of us.
I had the year's one,
Oh, yeah.
and it was 16.
See. I've got 2 years
Tease.
opportunities here. Depends, do I win, though? My numbers were 12 and 19.
Go on.
I had. Didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely shit.
I think the £2 ones are scams.
The £2 ones are.
It
yeah.
just.
And they're confusing as well.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
are.
straightforward.
We started scratching out the wrong
It
box.
took us like 5 minutes to go, how do you win on these things? Before we actually
Honestly,
figured it out.
terrible. Stick to the £1 ones, they seem to work.
I think so.
Yeah.
We're putting
Anyway.
a bit of a pile of our
We are.
users. It's like some of them are there.
It's bad.
It's not good. It's not good.
We should get.
But we won
We should
recently,
put
so
them on a
let's
board or something
keep that
like
momentum going too. Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
And we're having a whole mirage behind us.
We'll have losses.
Oh,
and our 2
man.
wins.
Nevertheless,
Yeah, so shall we move on then, I guess?
let's make our money by telling these lovely people what's going on in the world of business.
Go on then. Why
So
not?
we're now focusing on the legals, the financials, and the tax implications of these different companies. It's not so much of a thrilling topic, but nevertheless an important one to have.
It is,
as
it
a bit of
is.
knowledge for yourself.
100%. And I think when you go onto Company's House, like we mentioned, it can be scary because there's so many different options. So
Yeah.
it's all about just understanding, giving you a basic knowledge and depth about what these companies are and how you go about setting them up.
Entirely.
So I guess the initial kind of steps when you're looking to set up a company
That's
is
a good place to start. Yeah.
to set it up, obviously. So we've got a sole trader, which we mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
This is nice and simple and actually might sway a couple of you to think to not get a partner. Because all you need to do is register with HMRC for a self-assessment and then you are away with the fairies.
You are.
Starting your own business. They simply just tax you like a normal tax bracket kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy, nice and simple. You move on to your limited companies. Obviously, you've got to register with Company's House, and this will cost you, if you're doing it online, £12. So there's a small fee,
Expensive.
but with that, you need to appoint a director and register for corporation tax as well.
Both important things. If
Yes.
you miss one of them, you get yourselves in trouble. So
You will. So make sure you do your due diligence on that. With a PLC, this requires at least, as Ollie mentioned earlier, 50,000 share capital. So
Yeah.
£50,000 and follows a lot of strict financial reporting. So if you're going to look into a PLC, you need to really read into that.
Yeah.
And probably get someone who knows more about it than us.
True, yeah. You want to be, especially if you're working in those sort of margins and that scale, you want,
Huge,
because there's
yeah.
such stringent laws
Yeah.
and things as well, which I'll get into in a second, you want to have people who know
Yeah,
their shit.
if you get found out, you're going to get a big fine.
You are.
And it's not worth it.
It's not.
So you may as well cover your own backs. Then you've got an LLP. This must be registered with Company's House and have a formal partnership agreement. So best to get your lawyers involved and stuff like that so they can write up the proper contracts for everyone to sign.
But remember, when I was talking about Rocket Lawyer a few episodes ago, and we talked
Yeah.
about things that can help you, the LLP and LTD registration,
Yeah.
sort of forms and all the legals that you know, they're all on there, and then you can speak to people from there to get advice. So you don't necessarily in these two require the additional assistance,
No.
but you do need to make sure you get the right admin
Yeah.
documents, everything
Yeah,
signed.
especially with partnerships and stuff like that, you need to make sure you've
Without
got
a
that all covered. I mean, it is ridiculous. So you go on Company's House, you click on one link, it takes you to another page, it gives you 5 other links, and then you literally get lost.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Without
So hop on YouTube, hop on any other kind of social media platforms that discuss this, and they'll simplify it for you massively.
They will. Anything else in terms of setting up?
No, that's literally
Fair
it, to be
enough.
honest.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about the legal and tax side of things with these companies. Now, we've already touched on this to a grand sense of things. Initially, with the sole trader side of stuff, it really isn't much difference at all. You register on Company's House. Aside from that, the legal docs, there is really very minimal documents to have. It's just a matter of having the documentation from Company's House, so on and so forth. And if you set up a bank, the same thing goes there. Tax implications, it goes under your own tax bracket with your income. So
Yeah,
it's just
you
being aware of
just
that.
do a HMRC self-assessment in your way.
Exactly.
You don't actually have to register anything technically with Company's House at all.
You don't. Whereas with the LLPs, I'll start with, the limited liability partnerships, the LLPs, they can own their own assets legally. However, that means that if you were ever to enter into a legal battle, the ownership of the company, those assets can be sued at, or you can sue against somebody with the assets that you have under your own liability company. You can't involve your own assets because that crosses the threshold of having your limited liability partnership. So that's one thing to be aware of. Secondarily, you operate under an agreement between the members. Now, this allows for flexibility amongst yourselves, but you have to be really clear about the terms that you have. So, for example, if you're having a partnership with somebody, you're very clear about the percentages of your ownership. It's very clear about what assets you have under the company and what assets you don't have under the company. Because if you make that a grey area, it's like you'll just open the door for all sorts of liability.
Yeah.
Whereas the tax implications of limited liability partnerships is no corporation tax. So this does, once again, fall under the income tax bracket, which means the members, they're taxed individually, basically, on the share of the profits that they have.
Yeah.
And akin to like a personal income, that includes like your self-employment taxes and all that sort of stuff. So it's about being aware of what brackets you fall into. Now, Jamie mentioned earlier, it's usually the people in the sort of legal firms and stuff like that that are doing this, so you don't really have a new bracket you cross into, but you can if you're in other industries. So just be aware. If you're close to a threshold in your personal income and you're starting this business as well, make sure that you're staying in the right brackets.
I mean, with the LLPs, for example, if you make 100k profit, we're splitting it 50-50, for example. He gets 50, I get 50, but then you get taxed on that individually on top of whatever you earn as well.
Exactly.
Your year. I'd say with the limited company,
yeah.
Did you mention anything about the tax on that?
I didn't know, not necessarily.
No. So obviously you've got the corporation tax which you pay on your profits, and currently that's at 25% in the UK.
Yes, over 50,000 is 25%.
It's for profits over 250,000. Otherwise, your rate may be lower in the UK for companies' house. This is and limited companies. But yeah, that's something to be aware of as well when you're starting out.
And then your dividends are also taxed to the shareholders in the limited company.
They are,
and they're taxed at dividends rates. So you can look into what your dividends rates are, and that should really be told to you if you have one of those companies. But they're usually rates that are lower than your national income tax and all that sort of stuff.
But it is, as we mentioned, awfully confusing.
It really is.
It really is. And there's so many like false information out there and things that lead you down the wrong holes. So yeah, just be aware.
And definitely, also another thing with a limited company, if you start taking money out of the company, that has different legals and requirements for the money that you take out in terms of the profits that you take out personally. So then be aware that there's new tax you have to have on that. There's so much tax, especially with UK companies. There's the income, there's the corporation, there's the profitable tax. There's a whole bunch of things. So
that's why you have your accountants and stuff like that who do a good job. I guess.
Finally, with the PLCs, as you mentioned earlier, similar to limited companies in terms of the shareholders are only liable up to their investment for the legal side of things. You must adhere to stringent laws and stock exchange rules. This is what the point I was trying to get at. So those shareholders, because it's a public company, every shareholder adheres to the stringent laws. You have to make sure you have all these documentations put out there to be on the stock exchange and the rules that you have associated with that. There's all sorts of things to come under sort of legals to make sure you're not doing insider trading and all this sort of stuff that then gets whirled on top of that. So there's a lot more when it comes to the legals of a PLC.
That is, but you're talking about like the big dogs.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, once you're above this sort of 50,000 threshold to be a PLC, you're pretty much in that bracket. And once again, they pay the corporation tax. The dividends are issued to the shareholders, which are also taxed. However, because the PLCs attract a broader range of investors, you potentially allow those investors to get better tax benefits because it's part of a PLC.
Yeah.
So there's that as well.
Yeah. There are pros and cons to all of these. I think ultimately there's a lot of tax. And I mean, there are plenty of examples where it's gone terribly wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, one for me that stands out is the Lehman Brothers.
Okay, I've heard of them as a name. I can't remember what it was that they did.
So this is a massive... I'll give you a little breakdown. I've got a whole little bit. This is just for you guys. Anyway, essentially, they're a huge investment bank, right? They pretty much had over 600 billion in assets. Mm-hmm. However, in 2008, when we had this crisis, they were very reckless in terms of their risk-taking. So essentially what they did was they bought home loans, so mortgages from the bank. And this included a lot of many risky ones, which they gave to people who couldn't necessarily afford it.
Oh, I know where this is ringing a bell.
So they gave loans to people who, in the normal banking world, wouldn't be able to apply for it because they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
They called this subprime mortgages.
Yes.
You remember
the AAA, double A's, the B's, the triple B's.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the film The Big Short? Phenomenal film.
Great film.
Hands down one of the best films I've seen ever. This is a lot about this.
100%. Go watch that. It's entertaining as well.
It's brilliantly entertaining, yeah.
So essentially what happened was they bundled these home loans together into financial products and they called this mortgage-backed securities, so MBS,
Yeah.
and sold them to investors.
Yeah.
Now, these MBS were supposed to make money as homeowners would pay off their loans, which is the whole understanding of why they were going to people who couldn't necessarily afford it because they thought they could.
Yeah.
Essentially what they did, they bet that home prices would keep rising and that people would keep paying their mortgages.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of money on these bets.
They did.
The bet failed. Miserably.
Failed.
Essentially, people couldn't afford the loans, obviously, so then they couldn't pay their mortgages, which then meant the value of the MBSs that they sold to investors plummeted.
Went through the floor. Yeah.
Through the floor. And essentially, they couldn't cut their losses, so they had to file for bankruptcy, which caused a huge financial crisis across the US and also the UK, which has essentially led to now why the banks are so strict in terms of their rules.
That's why you now can't buy a house.
Yeah, honestly, it's ridiculous. But essentially, you need to look up, like Ollie said, The Big Short gives you a good understanding of
If you
it.
don't even want to buy a house as well, outside of starting a business, it's so important to understand that.
Oh, 100%. Also look at The Inside Job.
Yeah.
A bit more detailed, more of like a factual documentary type film. It'll go an Oscar as well, but it really will change the way you view that banks for sure. Like,
Side note,
it's crazy.
Out of that film, one of my favourite bits of it, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a scene
The Big Short, Inside Job.
There's a scene with Ryan Gosling where he's like speaking at the table and he's like, look at this guy, this is my quant. And it's a guy who's sat there like this Asian guy with glasses and all this paperwork, and he like breaks the fourth wall, he looks at the camera, he's like, my name's like James, and like I came like second in my maths competition at school. But this like Ryan Gosling character's like saying that he's like a super genius at maths. When you said in one of our first episodes, Statics Man, Statistics Ollie, I was like, that's what I felt like. I felt like a quant. But anyway, no. But that film is fantastic. It teaches you a lot about all this sort of stuff.
But it also shows that even your huge companies that had 600 billion in assets,
600 billion is
flopped.
I mean, the whole market was based off that, wasn't it? So for years, everything crashed.
Everything crashed. So, 2008, the big crash. But yeah, so do your due diligence. Make sure you read up about all of the legalities of it all.
Definitely. Now, to lighten the mood from that disastrous story, we've got our next segment for you, and it's Jamie's turn for a bit of Spenny or Penny. We're going to get into it now, and we've got something a bit different for you. It's not the delightful tastes on the tongue. We've got something completely different. We're using a different sense for yourself, man.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get into it.
Ooh, I'm interested. Yeah, really.
Just grabbing me water. And we're in with Spenny or Penny. We've got J Mo here today with the blindfold all. Good old ninja style. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into Spenny or Penny. Now, the people at home will now have seen that we've got a few interesting bits lined out here for you.
I am intrigued.
So we're going for the sense of smell today.
Oh, smell. I was really wanting something to eat.
I'll put these two here first. You want something to eat?
I did, yes.
I'm actually quite packaged as well.
I was looking forward to a bit of a mukbang session.
Oh, I can't wait to do that in the future.
We should do that.
We've got to do like expensive restaurants and then cheap restaurants actually doing out and about for it.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Right, so anyway, we're going to start off with deodorant, because Jamie smells. And so I'm going to spray it Jamie's way. And you'll notice there's an expensive one and a cheaper one. Now, deodorant's
where are you spraying?
Just in your general
like here.
direction. So, I'll go for this one first. You ready?
Yes.
What are we getting?
Ooh. I like the sound of that.
Yeah?
Yeah. That gave a...
Is it a nice smell? What sort of smells are you getting?
No, the sound of it.
Yeah, but what are these smells?
Hit me again.
Ready? Sorry.
I can taste that.
It's because you opened your mouth.
Jesus. That went up my nostril,
Sorry,
mate.
man.
What am I getting?
What are we getting?
My mouth's gone dry.
What are you smelling, man? Here's your water.
Thank you. I'm smelling like...
Do you recognise the smell? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I do recognise it. That's what I'm trying to like grasp. Like kind of like a musky...
Musky?
Wood-y...
Okay.
Is kind of what I'm getting. I'm getting confused here.
I see. Right, you ready for the next one?
Oh,
Okay, but it smells alright to be fair. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, off the bat, are you thinking that's a Spenny or a penny sort of brand? Do you just want to smell this next one?
A little bit. I think that might be Spenny. Yeah, go on.
I think that's a Spenny. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. Ready?
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
I think I might spread it too hard. Let me just wait.
Oh no, I've got it.
You got it?
Fuck that fucking reeks, man. Sure.
So what do you think of this next one?
No, but that was like extra smelly.
This is extra smelly.
Like you can. The other one was more subtle than that one.
Okay.
You know when people like cover themselves in aftershave or something like that?
Yeah.
And you can really smell it, but then you get some subtler ones.
So which one do you think the expensive one is?
Ooh. You know what? I want to stick with my first guess. So the first one's Spenny.
Okay, take off your blindfold. You were wrong, my friend.
Whoa.
So we've
That
got.
smelled like Lynx.
But you know what? I'm going to give you one hell of a bit of credit here. You said it smelled woody.
Yeah.
Frozen pear and cedarwood scent.
Oh.
That's an impressive smell you got there. So this, good old Lynx, everybody knows Lynx, good old Christmas special. It stinks in it now.
Oh.
Set off fire.
I don't like that second one at all. What is it?
And then this one's called Designer Fragrances. This one's called 1 Billion. That's the name of it. It's
Not
a bit
for
more.
me, mate.
It's hard to find an expensive deodorant, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on prices and stuff?
I mean, Lynx is the go-to for most men's
is.
deodorant out there.
Yeah.
It's like they dominate the industry. I honestly don't know really much about deodorant pricing. I'd say it's like £2.69.
Lynx? Pound.
Pound?
Mate, pound special.
That's very good.
Just cannabis pound.
That's very good.
Quite impressed. It was a deal, sort of, at a big superstore. What do you think about the 1 billion?
Designer fragrances. Wow. Well, if that's a quid, then I'd say that's about £3.50.
It was $2.99.
$2.99, yeah.
But it came as a pack of 4. So you had to buy the pack of 4.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. So what was the pack of 4?
So the pack of 4 when works out to be like, it was like $14.99 or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
So, in terms of companies, how you think they're performing, now, you've already mentioned, you think Lynx is dominating that sort of scene.
I've
Any
never
guesses
heard of
to
that
like
brand.
revenue and stuff like that on Lynx?
I would say 400 million.
Well, Lynx is actually underwritten by a company called Unilever. So Unilever, they're like, they actually have loads of stuff. Like for example,
they have
Coleman's
so
mustard. They've got Dove, the soap, Dove. They've got Knorr soup. They've got Marmite. So I've only actually got the details for their oversight company.
They're like a pharmaceutical company as well.
They are.
Yeah.
Sweeping in.
They're huge.
How much shit?
What?
Little down the dark for them?
Unilever.
Yeah.
20 billion.
Oh, what were you going to say originally?
5 billion.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 50 billion.
20,
50 billion.
fair.
That was in 2021.
Yeah.
So they are.
No, they're massive, mate. They're huge.
1 million on the other hand. I'll give you a hint initially. They've only actually been running 18 months.
Oh,
so you've got to stand the dock for how they're performing.
Wow.
Yeah.
15 months?
18 months.
18 months. So just a year and a half. Year and a half, I reckon 750k?
Close, 650k.
Ooh.
So you've done well there. Yeah, basically,
Not
it's
bad.
really interesting.
Not bad.
So the actual ethos of the brand is to make more affordable deodorants, but for like the designer ones. So they try and look at designer brands. And
That
they try
smells
and make,
like 1
deodorant
million.
versions.
The aftershave.
Baccarat,
That's probably why I don't like it, because I think there's so many people that use that.
I mean, yeah, you said it was a strong scent. It says here, warm, intense, aromatic scent.
It was
cinnamon
intense.
and spicy amber. So it's going to be a strong
Yeah,
scent.
yeah.
Anyway, get that blindfold back on.
That
We'll
is
crack on with the next
interesting.
bit.
That is what I thought though, 1 million straight away.
Wow.
But I didn't. I should have said that.
Yeah, you didn't.
I just got overwhelmed by the intensity. So intense.
Right, now these ones you can actually spray on yourself.
Do you want to like on my wrist or something?
I can add it to you. You can.
So I get to feel it.
Yeah, I reckon you get to feel it as well. Might give you a hint, but I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Well, up to you.
I'll let you touch it because you got the first one wrong. So these are
I just
now
prefer things.
aftershaves. Is that what they call them, or perfumes? I don't know what you call them really. All this kind of
Is it
tag.
men's or women?
It's men's.
Yeah. So I'd say aftershave.
Aftershave, cool. So we'll start off with this one.
Okay. Oh.
What sort of feel are you getting?
Skull.
Maybe not.
Wait, you look at tell me.
No.
There's the. I need to find where the actual
On
Is
the top, usually.
No. Like, is it going to come out that way or that way?
Let me point it at you.
There. I think I got it.
Cool.
Alright.
How can you miss your wrist? Got it? Ooh. Didn't expect that reaction.
Oh, man.
Did you swallow it?
I don't know what happened there.
What did you do?
I look like a right freak of it.
What sort of smell are we getting?
Oh man, I don't really know, like a wooden plank again, a nice like oaky.
Okay, nice oaky. Do you like it or not? Because you weren't given a tasteful reaction.
No, because I think I inhaled it, to be honest. I don't mind it. Okay. It's not like sweet, and I don't like sweet, so.
Fair enough. Well, here's the next one.
Okay. Oh. It feels bog standard.
Yeah.
The other one had like a bit of shape to it,
That's a fair point.
Right, I need to find this. There it is. I think I got it.
There you go.
Took about 3 squares.
Yeah, it's a bigger bottle, I guess.
That's a lot more fruitier. See, this is.
That's a lot more
I feel like this is where your preference comes into play.
True. That's a really
I
good
do like a kind of oaky, older smell, if you will, rather to fruity.
I'm the same.
Intense. So I would say, also based off the shape and everything, I'd say the first one's Spenny.
Okay, move your blindfold. You were wrong again.
Oh my gosh. I think I've got all of them wrong. Like all the penny and spennies I've ever done.
I think you have.
A Spenny and penny as well, so I've got the name wrong.
So, that's why you get it wrong. You need to get the title right.
Police.
So you've got
that's right, Skull.
Police, and you've got David Beckham's brand. Beckham's fragrances.
Bold instinct.
Bold instinct.
Nothing bold about that. No, have you smelled that
I'll
one?
put them both on me as well.
So if I read that, I'd think oaky, warm, old vibe. Smell it's like
do you know what though?
Fruity is like it smells like deodorant.
It might be because I know, but when I smell the Police one, I get more of just like a heavy alcohol smell. Whereas when I smell the other one, I get like actual scents. And you're right. This one's kind of already gone now.
Yeah.
This one I can still smell quite prominently.
Yeah, but I think that for me is too like flowery.
Fair
I don't know. Do you like that? Or
I quite like it.
You like that one?
Yeah,
Fair.
So first of all, how much do you think they were?
Absolutely no clue. Start with the first one, so the skull or the Police. I would say for that £6.
£6.99.
Fair.
Yeah. So on Amazon, little deal by Police. They had on £6.99 for one of those bottles, and they seem to be performing well. Loads are being sold on there, high reviews and stuff.
Well, they smell alright, but it's kind of gone.
So a couple of little facts for you about Police now. Zac Efron is the new face of their brand. Funnily enough.
No way.
Because Police, they do sunglasses as well as perfume.
Did they do shoes?
Sunglasses are their main things.
Or not?
I didn't see that on the website.
Okay.
So sunglasses are their main thing, and then they do fragrances as well.
Interesting.
Zac Efron's come on this year as their new face of the brand.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty
for
good
them
person
to
have
sign him up. Yeah.
And they own the manufacturers. So the company that overwrites Police actually own the manufacturers for perfume and eyewear, and they are called Dorigo.
Okay.
And Dorigo also manufacture sunglasses for Gap, for Fila, for Mulberry, for Porsche, and a bunch of other brands.
Oh wow!
What this highlighted to me is a single manufacturer is doing the sunglasses that you see on those racks at Gap and at Fila stores, as well as the ones that you see in Mulberry and Porsche brands and stuff.
That's
really interesting.
Very
when you start
interesting.
To look at that.
Very interesting.
So giving you the hint there that it's Dorigo that are actually the oversight company. How much do you think these two are doing in terms of their yearly performance?
So Dorigo are the manufacturers.
Dorigo are the manufacturers.
So I think since they're with Porsche and Mulberry and stuff like that, they are going to be quite high. I would say, or are they in the billions? Maybe low billions, 2-3 billion?
You're in the right ballpark. They're below the million mark. They're at 500 million. So about $500 million. But the thing is that they have such high costs in their manufacturing plants, which is why they don't make as much of their yearly profits as you would assume. But nevertheless, quite an interesting brand.
Yeah, that is quite interesting.
As for David Beckham's, how much do you think that was?
God, it's like probably your classic Christmas gift kind of thing. I remember I got a David Beckham deodorant when I was 12 or something like that.
My sister yearly buys me the Link set. That's my Christmas.
The Link set, yeah, that's the classic. It's the Africa one.
Yeah.
Since it's David Beckham, big brand, but like behind him in general, I would say probably pushing 20, 25.
$29.99. Not
$29.99.
Yeah. Very popular in Asian markets. There's a little fact for you. Their biggest retail seller is Asian markets.
Not surprised.
They love David Beckham around there.
I'm not surprised.
And then Europe comes in second. How much do you think David Beckham's making off of this product alone?
That alone?
Just alone. So he's got a bunch of different brands.
Yeah, I've not
just
heard
his fragrance brand. How do you reckon he's doing?
That one.
He's got like 3 different fragrances. That's
okay,
one of them. Bold Instinct. He's got like 3 different ones.
I would say 200. No. 10 million.
50 million.
Okay.
$50 million a year. Still, what a company to have under. And he's one of like 20 companies this guy has. So credit to him. He's knows where to put his money.
That just shows you, like, if you build a name for yourself, you can create a brand with that. Like, he obviously played for Man United, did really well in England, then went to Real Madrid, then went to Paris, then went to US and all of that stuff. So he's pushed his name as far as he possibly can.
I think the other thing is he's smart in going down the avenues of brands that associate with the footballer mentality, the fragrances, the hairstyling stuff he puts out there, the fashion brand, all that sort of stuff.
It's also because he dated one of the Spice Girls as well, or is married to them. That comes hand in hand with being on the front page of all the magazines and everything like that.
Which Spice Girl would you be? So I reckon you're a sporty Spice.
Yeah, I actually don't know them all. What would you be then?
I don't know, that's the only one I know. It's like that one, Posh Spice.
There's a ginger one as well.
Ginger Spice, I think. Scary Spice? The Scary Spice.
Scary Spice.
Anyway. Well, that was Spenny or Penny.
That's interesting.
Both wrong. So.
Yeah, I got them both wrong. Completely wrong.
You did. Anyway.
Can't believe that's 29 quid though.
I know, mad, isn't it?
Crazy. Not worth it, mate.
Well, let's get back into it, shall we?
David Beckham, not worth it.
That was Spenny or Penny, people. We are back. This place smells incredible.
It smells fruity.
It smells fruity. And that is it for today, I think.
Yeah.
Fun little episode.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it does go to show, like, there's a lot of, I guess, reading people need to do when it comes to choosing what company you want to. There's so much confusion around it. I mean, earlier we obviously mentioned.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I said corporation tax for a limited company is 25% once you make profits over 250,000, and you said. Yeah,
I was looking at it, and for some reason I had different data that said to me it was 25% over £50,000 in profits. What we've then gone into look is that we're both right and we're both wrong.
Yeah.
Because
so basically, under 50,000 is 19%.
It is.
And then anything above that is technically 25%. However,
between 50,000 and 250,000, for that £200,000 bracket, you do gain yourself something called a marginal rate, and that is a discount upon the upon the tax that you have to pay between those two figures, which goes to, you can look at this online, there's a marginal rate calculator.
Marginal relief.
Sorry, marginal relief.
Relief.
A marginal relief calculator that you can calculate whatever your profits are within that remit. You then get that discounted off of the 25% marginal rate that you had to pay. So there is a grey area there.
Instead of paying that 25% corporation tax, essentially the marginal relief will reduce that, so it becomes, I don't know, let's say 23%, 24%. Yeah. So you're not jumping from that 19 straight to the 25%, and you're not seeing a huge hit.
Exactly.
Really confusing, but that just goes to show, like, we got it right, but we both got it wrong.
Yeah.
And you've got to do your research because it is mental out there. Exactly. Like, it makes no sense, does it?
No, when it comes
you can make it so much more simpler.
You certainly can. And this is why we said in a previous episode how when it comes to certain facets of the company, we're big advocates for saying do a lot of it yourself.
Yeah.
There are some people you do need to lean on, and there's some things that tools out there aren't kind of advanced enough to help you with. You've got all the tools out there to help you research and do logos and do this and that. But when it comes to understanding accountancy, understanding legality, go to a professional.
It does make you question though, like, do they make it hard on purpose? I do. I think they personally do. I don't know what you think.
Do. Well, funnily enough, for the people who are going to stick around on a Patreon, or if you're going to go to a Patreon now, we are going to talk about some conspiracies. So that gives me a little lick there as to what we're getting into. But no worries if you're not heading over there. We will see you again next week with plenty more. And in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the socials.
There is a worry. If you're not heading over to our Patreon, are you true members?
Do you trust us? Trust us. Trust me. And you get a lot for your money as well. We repeat again. You get extended episodes.
Insane.
You get early access. On top of that, you get Sunday specials. You get behind the scenes. You get access to potential extra competitions that we're going to run. And then future events we're going to run. We're going to our Patreons first. That's 6 things off the bat that you get access to.
And you get to see our little team behind all of this.
For £4 a month. What you doing? Head over there.
13p a day.
13p a day. But in the meantime, as I said, check out the socials. We'll be giving out content pretty much every day on there so you guys can engage. And let us know your own journeys. If you're embarking on businesses, let us know. If you're going down the avenue of just starting a project and you want some further guidance, get in the comment section or send us an email.
100%.
We'd love to hear.
We want to hear anything and everything. Whether it's a workplace story, a name that you want to give yourselves, or like Ollie said, if you've got your own little business venture that you want to bring to life. Let us know. Drop a like.
It would be amazing.
Down below.
Do so.
And subscribe and comment and all of that good stuff.
Nevertheless.
Also, follow us on like Spotify and stuff like
Spotify
that
as well. I
Yeah.
always forget to say Spotify.
Yeah, we always forget that. But like, it's doing alright. So if you could drop us a like and a comment and everything like that on there, that'll help us grow as well.
And in the future, we know that people can't always stick around for an hour and a half to watch something. But if you're in the car and you want to head onto the Spotify and watch the rest of the episodes, you can check it out there.
Yeah, we got the chapters all written down for you guys.
We do. But thank you very much once again for joining us. We absolutely love you. And we'll see you next week.
Episode 9.
No, episode
done.
10 next week. Oh, that's episode 9 done.
Yeah, episode 9 done.
Rightio. Sign off.
Yep.
To the pip! Do you know what you usually say? You've forgotten, haven't you? Have you genuinely forgotten?
Cheerio!
There we go.
No, I'm trying to avoid that.
I was really worried then.
Did you
I
actually
thought you,
think?
that's why I was like, I never say to the pip first. Why are you making me say to the pip first?
I don't want to mix up.